Okay, we're going to make a couple quick short videos here to make these quick points. This is the transcript from the case. This is the judge speaking. I'm going to back it up a little bit so you can see the full context of what he's saying. But I don't think Campbell means to say that although somebody can be held over for revocation hearing for activity that occurred before the expiration date, that the court has no authority to supervise them pending that revocation hearing, at least in terms of their release. Okay. Big word right there, Judge. Release. Look a little closer, Judge McShane. Look real close. Get real close. I was never released, you fucking idiot. What you're referring to is a release agreement, a contract, an understanding that a person must submit to the conditions of to get what? What do they need to do to get what? They need to agree to this release agreement in order to get released. If you read the case, the file, you'd realize I was never released. Okay? So your remark right there, absolute ignorance. Ugly, disgusting, situational unawareness, and, in part, why you violate my rights. Because you're ignorant of the facts of the case. But oh so prepared to issue warrants and all these other things as if you have jurisdiction, you ignorant fool. Let me continue. And maybe the situation, maybe I've made the situation more difficult. Yes, that's an admission right there. You see that, people? The judge. You see that? Maybe? No, not maybe. Let's be completely honest here, Judge. You're trying to be, but you're missing the mark. You have definitely made the situation insanely more difficult through your ignorance. By adding conditions to supervised release that post-date the expiration date. Now, what kind of rookie, amateur, uneducated person can even craft a sentence like that about their conduct? Adding conditions of supervision post-date the expiration. If it expired, and it's blatantly obvious it did, what on earth would make you think that you could add conditions to what doesn't exist any longer? Utmost ignorance. But what I was trying to do is make it clear that while he remains on release, remains on release, here we are again with more stupidity. Never released, moron, never released. You are a moron, you're an epic fool. You have no idea whether the person in front of you is released or not. That's moronic, that's foolish, those are not insults, they're the truth. There are certain check-in requirements. Check-in? Check-in? What do you mean check-in? Are you still talking about release again? Whoa, this guy's really out there. And those are what I want to clarify with you today. And you needed to do that in person. Come on. You were going to clarify nothing more than your stupidity today had I been there. That's all that would have been on display is your stupidity. Because you would have been talking about a release agreement, and I would have told you, go to hell, there is no release agreement, there is no release, and you're not going to manufacture one now, 15 months after the fact, like you've done with this fraudulent transcript here, claiming it's an initial appearance. An initial appearance, 15 months later, dismissed the whole case. It took you 15 months to have an initial appearance. Admittedly. Here's the transcript. People, you see this? See the date? Case dismissed. Case closed. This is the initial appearance. Game over. Who the fuck do you think you're playing with? You better go find one of those junky defendants that you're used to dealing with. I'm not that guy. I'll run you over the coals and abuse you with the law, the real law, not your fake version of it. I've ordered this hearing. No, you did not. Show a court order. You're a liar. Show a court order. I've seen the record. I've seen the docket. There's no order. You're a liar. In person. With him present. And he's not here. You're a liar. Once again. He's not here. You know I'm right outside the entire time talking to your security, being denied entrance. You know that's a fact. No way around that for certainty. You're busted lying again. Let's prove that. Oh, there's Todd the fraud. Here's how you know. You see this? That's how you knew. That's me outside. As you say, I'm not here. That's me telling my attorney. See that? I'm not here. How could my attorney be telling me in live time what's happening? Okay? You're a liar. It's proved. The entire internet sees it. See that? Now you know, folks, where you can get the truth and where you'll find the lies. Judge Michael McShane, liar. Liar, 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 liar. These are not debatable things. These are not opinions. These are 100% irrefutable, like every other video I've put out here, irrefutable proof of him being a liar. No way around it, point blank, case closed. That man's a liar. I've proved it. Yeah, if you're wondering, these are all the other videos that are on deck for him. Trust me, there's dozens in the wings. Dozens. For that man right there. A now known liar. Give a better shot of his face for the internet. There he is. That's the guy who violates my rights. That's the guy who sits there, that smug look on his face. Judge, hopefully, will remove that bottom word from that name plaque very shortly here with an impeachment proceeding based on these lies, bullying, and retaliation from the bench. There you go. I'll leave that up there for the time being. Let's continue. You didn't order the hearing in person. Total lie. Broke that down. Oh, let's go up with this one here. Pending his revocation hearing. Do you know what the law says about that, Judge? When the term of supervision has expired and it's called delayed revocation, it says it must be done expeditiously. It's been 15 months. Guilty as charged. Not expeditiously done. Judge, what kind of courtroom are you running? Okay, here's another one. Just blatant, ugly stupidity. I think the court has some authority to continue to have hearings pending the outcome of the revocation hearing. True. You do have authority to have hearings, I suppose, if they're related to what? That. That's your authority, right there. No further, no more. That's the extent of it. Let me educate you, Your Honor. I mean, come on, I feel awkward even saying that word in regards to you. It's that ugly, this ignorance and stupidity you displayed. I just feel like it really doesn't fit. Michael is what I feel like comfortable calling you. Michael. Listen, Michael, there's a law. Do you see that? I'm sure you know what the AO's office is. Go to their website. You'll find it. It should be noted that delayed revocation involves the jurisdiction to what? After the term of supervision has expired. Look what it says. Look what you say. This time period is told. Look what it says. Look what you say. Look what it says. Look what the judge, who doesn't know what he's talking about, says. Now you know why I call you an epic idiot. You're sitting here, violating my rights, putting warrants out, making me wanted, slandering me before the entire world with these court public records, based on what? Ignorance. Now, I would argue, A, you're ignorant, but B, you're drunk with power, and you're also overwhelmed with emotion of anger based on this channel, and you're not thinking clearly. You're not using your intellectual mind. You're driven by emotional decisions right now because you're angry. You're frustrated. All those emotions can govern a man and cause you to do things that are irrational. That's what I believe is at play. I'll prove it too. Officers sometimes ask, that's sad, you know what? This is the AO's office addressing just lowly probation officers who work for judges. In this case, they need to address the judge. Officers sometimes ask whether supervision tolls, assuming judges know it but officers don't, when the summons or warrant is issued. But this question confuses the issue of jurisdiction and tolling. Do I need to even say anything else? He goes on to mention jurisdiction in here too. The warrant or summons simply, which is also to say only, preserves the court's jurisdiction to proceed with revocation proceedings. Okay? Now, let's get back to these stupid writings here that are in this transcript. I think the court has some authority to continue to have hearings pending the outcome of revocation hearing. You do. That would be logical. That would make sense. Not hearings to give me a GPS unit illegally. Not hearings to adjust a probation officer that you keep saying I have to check in like I have a probation officer. I don't. My shit expired. There is no release. Okay? Do you get that? There's no release. Therefore, I'm not subject to pretrial release or pretrial services or United States probation or supervised release that expired already. It's done. The whole fact that you've been sitting here making a fucking idiot of yourself with this Todd Cantamesa fraudulent scumbag that you've got me terrorized and menaced by. Think about this, people. Just think about this in its entirety. Every single difficulty that I've had, including getting my fingertip nipped off by a table saw, the GPS unit, you name it, all of that stuff was based upon what? My interactions with Todd Cantamesa. Okay? Had there been no Todd Cantamesa, there would have been none of this. And here you're seeing there should have been no Todd Cantamesa. I was not released. Therefore, I'm not subject to a release agreement. It's not statutorily permitted. It doesn't even make any fucking sense for that matter. You cannot give a person a release agreement who's never been released. Okay? Let me go over this for these so-called lawyers. Oh, well, here's a defense for not coming to court, by the way. I'm completely there, 100%. There should have been no warrant whatsoever. It's just a fucking, like I said, emotional judge who can't bridle his anger and frustration in order to think clearly. Conditions of supervised release. That's the wrong one. Oh, yeah, by the way, people, Adam Delph, take a quick peek at this. A warrant. A warrant must, okay? First thing, contain defendant's name. Or, if it's unknown, stop reading right there. Stop reading. No need to read any further. It's known. That's a fact. So, again, don't pay attention to that. Must contain a defendant's name. Or it's defective. End of story. Adam Delph, when you're saying here, I think we're doing with a legitimate this or a valid this. Read the law, man. Come on, this shit's embarrassing, man. You guys ought to be embarrassed. Here it is. Detention order, release order. Judge, pull that piece of paperwork out of your file with my signature on it, that it exists, that it ever was issued, and I'll apologize publicly. It doesn't. It never happened. I was never released. In a release, see all the word release? Translation, you must have been in custody to be released, never in custody, never happened, therefore that doesn't exist, therefore you have no authority, no jurisdiction. I signed no agreement that made me subject to terms of any kind of shit that you could somehow violate or cause to have a warrant because I didn't do it. Your warrant is illegal, you're stupid, you are too dumb to even know the basics of the law or the case that's before you. Sad, truly sad. Impeach this joker, get him off the bench. It's a fucking detriment to the courts, to the society. He's single-handedly, Judge Michael McShane has caused the entire United States of America with this channel to doubt the legitimacy of this entire court. All U.S. courts have now had their reputation knocked down substantially by this gross stupidity, ignorance, and corruption. Impeach him, restore your reputation. That's what's in order. These are lies. These is ignorance on a level that's unheard of from a bench. I've seen traffic court cops. You know, I don't knock that. My uncle in Sacramento was a judge. He's a quite intelligent person. Trust me, I've never, ever seen a judge behave this ignorantly and foolishly in my entire life. this period is told regarding allegations of new criminal conduct. Okay, let's talk about that criminal conduct, Judge. Have you even seen the police report? Judge, why do you have to ask me in court why you asked the defendant, not the government, not the probation, you asked the defendant what's happening in the case. Why do you think that is, Judge? Because you have no facts in the case whatsoever, period. Right here in this transcript, you're asking Adam Delf, hey, what's going on? You got anything? Well, maybe we'll need some more details if we're gonna actually have a revocation hearing from the state. Watch my other video. You're not getting other details. They ain't gonna give you shit because they're not turning over evidence against themselves to the federal courts that they violated my rights. I've been telling you people that shit from the very beginning. Todd Cantamesa, I could pull up 50 conversations where he's been told that. 50 conversations, minimum. I'll do it just so I don't seem like I'm that guy running his mouth and not doing nothing. See this? There's one right there. See that there? If you can read that or not, hell, fuck it, I'll just play it. I don't want to turn this into an epically long video. Now I gotta go to iTunes and play all this stuff. I put it all in the cloud, but these are some of the recordings. Okay? Daniel Desinoy, that's just a fraction of them. When I tell you a fraction, there's so many more. Hundreds of them. So, again, you guys knew that shit. It's Todd the Fraud who doesn't want to cover his bases. It's just sad. I'm not going to... I could go 100 different diversions with this one, but I'm not. I'm going to stick to what I'm trying to discuss. Him saying that things don't toll... that things do toll, that he has this, the jurisdiction. He doesn't. I've proved it. He's ignorant. Case closed. What I've been asked all along is to set this matter over until it resolves his state court cases. That hasn't happened yet. Sir, let me tell you something. It's been 2 years next month on the 6th. 2 years. Don't listen to Todd the Fraud, who's told you it was COVID related. That lying scumbag knows damn well, because I've told him several times, I've gone to trial in that case that you're speaking of. Twice showed up, suit and tie, prepared to go. Twice the state asked for a continuance. Why? I've already said why. They're guilty, 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 guilty of doing nothing more than violating my rights. That entire case is nothing more than a sham, a scam, and I've suffered for it for 2 years in unconscionable ways, including you now taking the baton from them, and because your entire case, your entire reason for dealing with me is based upon their bullshit, you are now part of my sufferance in regards to that. They were the ones violating my rights in gross, demonstrable ways, but you, Todd Cantamesa, brought to you this case, and it's stubbornly and ignorantly and racistly, I don't even know if that's a word, but in a thing that can only be described as a racially motivated incident, has constantly refused to see reality and see the truth and get rid of this shit. And I've told him, Todd, what are you going to look like? A big-time asshole when I win that trial and that shit's over. What are you going to look like? The guy who brought forward, he's committed a crime as if it's already happened when I hadn't even had any adjudication. I hadn't had any due process, but you swore to me having committed a crime. You swore to it. See that? Under the penalty of perjury. See that? You swore I committed a crime. You swore to it. Go arrest these people when I win my trial. That's all I gotta say. But the truth is, it's all about that. About you stealing identities. That's what it's all about. So, Judge, please, go find someone else to fuck with. I don't care about your warrant. Marshals come kick my door in. All I'm gonna do is have the cameras rolling. They're gonna end up on YouTube arresting an innocent man. It's gonna be great footage for the channel. I'm sitting in my living room. I ain't hiding. I ain't running. I ain't doing shit. But waiting. Come see me. I don't give a fuck. You're wrong. I'm right. You know it. Add to your fucking suffering and misery. I'm prepared. I ain't no scared little bitch. You guys are the scared bitches. And I'll tell you why. Any man who can't face his consequences, any man who cannot own what he does wrong, is by definition a timid, coward man. That's what you guys are. U.S. Marshals, You see me, knock politely, I'll answer the door politely, I'll come out and put my hands up. Let's not make a scene in front of my kids, please. You ain't got no running guy. Marshall, Mike, you know who you are. Me and you get along well, man. Just knock on my door, it's all good. I'll come answer the door, it's over.